Brighten up those dark mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter. Mornings at the Cabin.
Mornings at the Cabin, indeed. Wheeler Lecture with you on your Tuesday morning. This morning show brought to you by the NACC, the Northern Arts and Cultural Center, and their show, The Ever Late Show, coming up on... Is it coming up next Friday? We should probably know this.
You know what? It's in the middle of the day.
That's right.
That's all I remember.
That's right.
At this point.
You know what? Who's going to come in to explain a little bit later on? Because we are lost. Martin Rehak will be in at around 8 o'clock to discuss everything for the Ever Late Show. And big thanks to the NACC, as always, proud supporter of Cabin Radio. And we are a proud supporter of them. Very much looking forward to having live shows back as however we can have them. Johnny Cole on The Late Show a couple weeks ago or last week. I have no sense of time. Nutcracker coming up in a couple of weeks.
Years ago, Jeff.
It was years ago. Johnny Cole's been dead for years.
The Ever Late Show,
yeah,
to follow up, is live at the NACC.
Yes.
This Saturday.
Okay, it's this Saturday.
At 1 p.m.
That's right.
And then
1 p.m.
1 p.m. That's the live.
Yeah.
And then, of
it's
course,
rebroadcast.
Rebroadcast in Northwest L at 7:30.
With added swears.
That's right.
That's great. Well, I look forward to that. I look forward to talking to Martin a little bit about that later on. Very funny man. One of the funniest in town. No pressure, Martin. If you're listening right now, which you aren't. That's fine. But the NACC, I mean, yeah, we're really trying to figure out a way to bring back those live shows. That's awesome. Looking forward to the Nutcracker. Looking forward to the Ever Late Show. Johnny Cole and the Johnny Cole last week. Was it last week? Again, I ask again. Last week, 2 weeks ago.
Years.
No idea.
Years ago.
What day it is? Pretty sure it's Christmas time. And for some reason, I wanted to hear this song this morning. Glenn Frey, The Heat Is On. And it didn't start. Great.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
Hold up now. Mornings at the Cabin. Wheeler and Lecture with you on your Tuesday morning. This morning show brought to you by the NACC and the Ever Late Show Christmas edition coming up on the 12th, which is Saturday at 1 p.m. Tickets are $20. Only 50 available.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if they're sold out or not yet, but right here, it says it right there. $50 available. It'll be broadcast later on via Facebook and Northwest.
Even if we did say there were none available, pay no attention to us.
Pay no attention to us. We did that for the Johnny Cole and the Late Show, and there were tickets left. So, but I mean, to be fair, it did say sold out on the website.
Well,
and then they called us and were like, don't listen to the website.
Let's clarify.
Oh.
It said there are no more tickets available online.
Oh, but there were tickets at the box office?
Yes. I immediately took that to mean that tickets were sold out.
Well, I mean, that's a fair assessment because, I mean, like, who's going down to the box office to buy tickets?
Well, it also said underneath.
These days.
It said underneath, contact the Northern Arts and Cultural Center box office for information on additional ticket availability. So it didn't necessarily
say that?
Wander on down there.
Yeah.
It just said contact.
And it also says, when booking tickets, please make sure to only book the exact number of people and the same number of seating. 2 people for 2 seats, 4 for 4. If you have an odd number, please call the box office for your tickets.
Where
Do
are
not
you seeing
book 2 seats in a 4-seater section.
Where are you seeing all these rules?
At the NACC.ca,
Oh.
which is where you can find your tickets. There you go. Guests, frivolity, antics, nonstop laughs. Did I mention frivolity?
And tickets.
And we'll ask about all that frivols when Martin Rehak joins us at 8 o'clock. So I had the facial hair growing out. We were talking about this the other day.
Yeah, it's already coming back.
It's already coming back.
You're already stubbling.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, once you shave it, bro, it comes back thicker. That's not true. But so I shaved it off. Phoenix touched my face in the middle of the night on Saturday and said, I don't know who you are. Please get out of my room.
Yeah.
So I left. And
called the police.
She called the police. And they showed up at the house, and there it was. So I spent the last 2 days in prison. It's warm.
No complaints?
No complaints. 3 hots and a cot. But she looked at me again today, and she's like, I'm starting to recognize your face again. Please grow back your facial hair. Now, this is the first person I've ever been with that has requested that I grow facial hair, because I don't grow it very well.
Right.
So I got too much of that Cree blood in me. Yeah. I don't grow facial hair very well.
Yeah. Well, it takes a while.
It does.
Yeah.
You can grow a beard in, what, a day?
No.
2 days?
No.
5 days?
No.
I mean, you don't have the thickest facial hair.
No, I do not.
But I mean, it looks pretty good. At least your mustache can connect with your beard. I have a space here.
Don't let it fool you.
No?
No.
You just, I'm sorry. Have you been using beard oil and tiny combs?
No.
No?
No.
Because I have a tiny comb. that I got and a Christmas cracker that I was using to straighten out my mustache hair and then trim it above my lip because it would, once it starts curling in your lip, it's super annoying.
They got a mustache comb.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it is. I mean, it's one of those things from a Christmas cracker. It may not actually be a mustache comb, but it turned into one.
So you got to grow a mustache to comb it.
I guess. And she wants the chin fluff too, and I don't know. I feel like if I put on a pair of white Oakleys, I'm going to be one of those guys, that takes a picture in their truck and
that we
posts really, controversial things
that we posed as in a movie.
That's right.
The
Chads.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
They're releasing a Christmas album,
I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's called Christmas Without Consent. We're going to shove Christmas into your face. Yeah, it's they're really against anyone saying happy holidays. They feel that the war on Christmas has gone too far.
It has. It's been lost.
It's been lost. Yeah, that's right.
They are the final resistance.
That's right.
Brad, Chad.
The last line of defense.
And was
Chad,
it Sharon or
Chad and Sharon?
Sharon.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like,
Sharon
Karen is the obvious one. But yeah. Okay.
No, it was Sharon. I believe it was Sharon. It wasn't a Karen.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun. But so I got to grow this back, and I don't know. I'm not feeling it.
No. Really?
No, it's hard to say no to that face.
Yeah. Well, has Phoenix ever considered growing a beard?
She has. It doesn't grow in very well.
No.
She's just got one hair that grows out of her cheek, really long. No, she doesn't. She's actually up right now listening to this. I love you. That doesn't happen. But so we'll see. Evil Jesse may make a return.
Maybe become permanent. Sounds like it.
I don't know.
It sounds like you're heading in that direction.
It kind of does.
Yeah.
Sounds like I'm being forced into that direction.
Yeah.
We'll come back. We'll come back to that. And maybe we'll do a little post about it. It took like 2 months to grow it out that much.
Yeah.
So, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And people kept making fun of me.
Aw.
They asked me. Not you.
Oh, okay.
They asked me if I got in a fight with my razor. And I said yes.
Yes.
And I won.
Yes, I did.
We got the Scorpions, No One Like You, before the news with Brackenberry. Megan Brackenberry. Show some respect.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast. Hey, it was early. What do you want from us?
We don't usually talk music news because, hey, here at the cabin, we hate music. That's not true. We love music. That's why we have the biggest variety in the North, the true North. But yesterday, big story, Bob Dylan has sold his entire catalog to Universal Music. That's right. How much could that possibly be worth, you say to yourself as you try to hum one of his tunes in your head? There's 4 or 5 that you know, and you don't know the lyrics to any of them.
Come on.
What?
You don't know the lyrics?
To what?
To any Bob Dylan song?
Well, okay. Yeah, there's the one that...
It's the only reason to know Bob Dylan songs is the lyrics.
Is it?
Mostly.
Okay. All right. A man stands up in a coliseum. He's blinded by a monkey who cannot see him. Something like that, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. You've seen Walk Hard. That's the best parody of Bob Dylan ever. ever. So he sold his entire catalog, which is not unusual. Stevie Nicks sold her entire catalog. What she owned from Fleetwood Mac for $100 million. Bob Dylan, how much do you think?
$275 million.
You're $25 million off.
Oh,
it's reported. It wasn't released publicly, but it's thought to be worth upwards of $300 million.
Oh, wow.
Name a Bob Dylan song.
Yeah, well, by Price is Right rules, I was, right in the wheelhouse.
That's right, right in the wheelhouse. And that's why I said $276 million. I got it right.
Oh, you.
That's right. So we were having a conversation off air about this, about does he need more money for his music? I mean, has he not made enough money off his music up to those? Obviously, it's his property. He can do what he wants with it. But selling to Universal is just kind of like... So they're going to repackage it, re-release it, and they'll just continue making money on it. Now, if they paid him $300 million, that means they're probably thinking, well, we have to make at least $1 billion off of this, right?
Or just like $600 million.
Maybe 600, maybe $301 million. Listen, We're not in this for the money. We just want to make $301 million off of this. So,
I mean, really, yeah, that's a good investment.
Yeah, it is a good investment. Absolutely, You're getting your money back plus a little bit more. So yeah, I mean that's pretty huge news. That's I mean I don't know if that is that. You think that's the biggest catalog ever? Music catalog ever? Because I mean, Michael Jackson famously bought up the Beatles, the rights to the Beatles songs.
Yeah,
and it caused a rift between him and Paul McCartney, a fissure which never recovered.
Yeah, and then Paul bought most of it back.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the Beatles...
Yeah, well, when Michael Jackson was selling off all his assets for that, thing that he did.
Oh, yes. All that stuff he did. I assume Paul McCartney still owns the majority of the Beatles.
Look at this. Just looked it up.
Catalog.
Might be the biggest publishing rights deal ever made.
Yeah.
Bob Dylan's.
Yeah.
$300 million. That makes sense.
I mean, the guy has, I don't even know how many studio albums. Do you have that up there?
47.
Yeah, that's quite a body of work.
I made that up. Let's see.
You know what? It's probably not far.
Right? Without going over, that's...
I was going to guess 50.
Let's see. Here we go. 39.
39.
Thought it was over.
Yeah.
But, okay, well, no, wait. 39 studio albums.
Right.
12 live albums.
Price is Right rules.
I was right.
You win.
I was right.
Well done.
That was 49. What did I say, 47? So that's 51 albums. He's got 15 bootleg series.
Oh, you know what? I guessed 50. So I win.
No, you said that it's probably 50. You didn't actually guess it. You didn't make it an official
I said
guess.
it's probably around 50.
All right, well, whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, the only kind of thing I had about it is just it's just if you've been purchasing his music since the 60s, you've probably been buying it. You've probably bought it 5 or 6 times over by now. He's got his money. It reminds me of the time that I downloaded Star Wars Episode 3 illegally. I had a screener copy of it. There was even time code on the bottom.
Right.
And I got it off of LimeWire. And people were like, well,
it was called Star Trek.
It was called Star Trek. And it was the first episode. But people were asking me, don't you feel bad about that? Because that was around the time that Cineplex Odeon was playing those commercials before movies that's saying, downloading a movie is the same as stealing a car. And everyone's like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Now, I understand,
murder.
being a part of that industry, I understand the piracy that took an enormous chunk.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't really, though. At the end of the day, there's still hundreds and hundreds of movies and TV shows being produced.
Right.
In fact, we're into the movie studio system is kind of moving in a different direction, and TV is kind of taking over where most of these jobs are coming from. However, I didn't feel bad. They asked me if I felt bad about downloading a movie illegally, and of course I said, well, of course I do. And I didn't. But I had already seen it. I'd already seen it. I did. About that.
Wow.
I'd seen it in the theater 3 times at that point.
Okay.
So George Lucas had my money.
Yes.
Had my money 3 times over.
Yeah.
So I downloaded it illegally on my computer.
Did you really
in
enjoy
2006?
It that much?
At the time, I did. At the time, I did. Yeah. So it came out in July of 2005. I was one of those guys lined up for it.
Right.
That was 15 years ago.
Right.
And now you get to the last one that came out, and I couldn't be bothered.
Did you have your little Anakin Skywalker backpack filled with
I
snacks?
wasn't a nerd. All right. I wasn't a weirdo. We just brought camping chairs and played Star Wars Monopoly for 3 hours. Okay. We weren't weirdos. So I feel
kids.
Bob Dylan's got his money for his music. He's not producing anything new, but I mean, Universal's $300 million.
Yeah.
Sounds like a steal.
Yeah.
So we were talking about how long it takes for music like this just to become part of public domain. And right now, you just looked it up beforehand. Anything before 1924 that hasn't had its copyright renewed or has been voluntarily put into public domain is public domain.
Yeah, in the States.
So it's 96 years.
In most other countries, music generally enters public domain in a period of 50 to 75 years after the composer's death.
After the death?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, which is why, as we mentioned, we're able to use Grieg's Morning Mood as our intro song.
Absolutely.
Without repercussion or payment.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we couldn't have picked a more obvious song for our theme to wake up in the morning. It's literally the song that gets played in cartoons when Donald Duck wakes up.
There's also another one. I thought about going with that other one.
Greensleeves?
Is that it?
No.
There's another morning.
Isn't that what we play?
No.
Oh, what do we play?
Na, 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 na,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I thought about going with that one. I don't know why I didn't.
Well, that's more of a cartoon one, I think.
Yeah.
I think we're off track here.
Maybe that one was a year away from public domain.
Yeah, fair enough. Congrats to Bob Dylan, I guess. He's got a Nobel Prize, got a few Grammys.
Yeah.
$300 million in his back
He doesn't have to do anything.
He's preparing for the end of the world. Stevie Nicks doing the same thing. Last week, $100 million for just a majority stake in her catalog. She didn't sell it off. So she's still going to make some of that Fleetwood Mac money. And why not? Fleetwood Mac just went to the number 1 on the charts in the last month.
Yeah.
So just because that dude, that happy dude, longboarded down what appears to be a highway on-ramp, by the way. Very dangerous.
Oh, is this the TikTok thing?
Yeah, sipping his cranberry juice.
Yeah. I don't get that.
You know what? I think it was just a positive thing. Like, he was vibing, and everybody was like, yeah, I like that. I can vibe with that. So, like, yeah, Ocean Spray, but a lifetime supply of cranberry juice in a truck.
You know, I'd take the $300 million.
Over the cranberry juice in the truck? Yeah, fair enough. Given the choice between cranberry juice and a truck, I'll take the $300 million.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. We'll have to all buy Bob Dylan's music again. Whoopity-oo.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast was recorded before a sort of live, thankfully not in the studio, audience.
Joined by a very special guest whose name I will not announce until after I give you the rest of this information. The Ever Late Show Christmas edition, Saturday at the NACC. Go to naccnt.ca for ticket info. There are 50 tickets, and from what I've been told, 25 of them are sold out. So go there now. It's at 1 o'clock, and you get to see a live show with comedians and frivolity and antics and all kinds of things. And we're joined by host, creator, man about town, Martin Rehak. Martin, welcome.
Hi, hey, thanks for having me on the show.
Absolutely, thanks for being here. Tell us about the Ever Late Show. This is the second edition, this Christmas edition. When was the first one? Was it in August?
That's right, yeah. So we did the first installment of the Ever Late Show. We kind of just tried it out, and that was out at the Wellerate site, part of NACC's outdoor series.
Beautiful.
That they did in the summer.
Yep.
And, we got some good feedback, so we decided why not some more buffoonery.
Absolutely.
Let's do it again.
Absolutely. Christmas time is a great time for buffoonery.
Exactly.
2020 has been a great time for
buffoonery. And this is voluntary buffoonery. This is not regular Christmas, I'm just going to drink too much buffoonery. This is great buffoonery.
Performance.
Performance buffoonery.
Yeah. So, so tell us who you got. You got some comedians, some musical guests.
Oh, man.
Non-stop laughs. Now, that's a big promise.
Exactly.
Because we're not allowed to laugh.
We're not allowed to laugh. Yes, that's what as I said earlier, laugh into your inner elbow.
Yes.
If you need to laugh, right in your arm. The lineup. Let me tell you about this. All right, so we have our comedians. We have your very own Emily Blake.
Yeah,
we have on loan from Cabin Radio.
She never tells us about these.
Yeah, no, she doesn't.
Until they're happening.
She's embarrassed. So Emily Blake, Sky Plowman.
Very nice.
Ooh, very good.
Love Sky.
We're going to have a brief appearance by Thomas Parker.
Colonel Tom Parker.
Tom Parker, very funny guy.
Why a brief appearance?
Well, he'll be in his briefs.
Maybe. Don't want to give away at the end.
That's right. It's all a secret.
You blew the whole.
No, we still have to write that part. So, it still in works. It's all very, very lively. It's very organic. So it's coming together.
Yes,
it's coming together. Okay. Who did I forget? I didn't mention.
You forgot many more.
Many more. Oh yes, of course. Yes. There's many more.
The question ball.
The question ball. So the many more you can expect also many more.
Very good.
But then also Ryan McCord is our special musical guest that evening. That afternoon, I suppose.
Very nice. Yeah. Late show in the afternoon.
It's a late show in the middle of the day. Yeah.
I mean, that's how these talk shows are usually done.
Right, exactly.
Right? You go see the late show at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right. Yeah. Recorded in the middle of the day, and then we'll broadcast it. It will be broadcast. That's right. So let me finish the list of guests first. Very special appearance by David Thomas Michael.
DTM?
DTM is going to be in the house.
How'd you score that?
It was. I had to pull a lot of strings. He's flying in.
Yeah.
He's going to quarantine.
For
2 weeks.
Right.
I was going to say
just to be on this show. So we're very fortunate. Yeah.
DTM himself.
Oh, absolutely.
Going to be here in town.
So he hasn't flown in yet?
Right. No, he's in.
No. He flew in 2 weeks ago. I don't know what you're talking about.
And boy, are his arms tied.
Oh, right. Okay.
All right. Just cut that part out.
This is all pre-recorded.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
This is why we don't do anything live here. We're a radio station.
Right.
So tickets are $20.
Right. Yeah.
So a reasonable amount of money to see a great show. Lots of great comedians. Great music. So for people who didn't see the Ever Late Show in August or don't know what it's about, tell us about the Ever Late Show.
The Ever Late Show. Yeah. So it's it's going to be a talk show format.
Very nice.
So you can expect like it'll be some sketches and some comedians. We have these acts coming out. I'll talk to them as well.
Okay.
I'll make eye contact. And,
Do you ask them very deep personal questions about themselves?
Yeah, but mostly with a silly, everything's silly. Everything, I mean, maybe not so deep. Depending.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Depending how deep the funny bone is.
That's right.
That's how far we're going.
It depends on the question. Some people get real silly about deep emotional
Yeah.
trauma.
That's
Will
right.
Santa be there?
Santa will make an appearance.
Yes.
I don't know in which capacity, but you can always count on Santa to show up for Christmas.
Absolutely.
Of
course,
we can
yeah.
count on one thing.
I mean, he shows up sometimes in the middle of the summer. At concerts,
That's right.
so
Yeah.
it's,
I have seen him.
he's a busy guy.
I've seen him in his shorts. You don't want to. Those legs, those very pale
They're
legs.
white.
Yeah.
Super white legs.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
So you have with Absurd Turd Media, of course, you're
Correct,
which
yeah.
is less than a year old.
Yeah, roughly that, like in an official capacity.
You've really kind of taken up the torch of putting on comedy events.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here in the north.
Yeah,
Now,
we need it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, March, everything shut down, and live performances were very tough. And you just kind of, it seemed like you just kind of took up the torch. You're like, I'm going to make sure that this community finds a way to continue laughing. You put on a couple virtual comedy shows in, was it the Womp Basement?
That's right. Yeah, in the Womp boardroom there.
Yeah. And it's, I got to say, it's been a breath of fresh air that you have just like kind of put this on your back and said, we got to keep some fun happening in the community. We've tried to find ways to do musical performances in different creative ways and getting that out there. But yeah, it seems like you've really like taken the comedy community and been like, we're gonna make this happen, which is really cool.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, no, it was never my plan in the beginning, but it just sort of happened that way. I mean, I got my start doing some comedy here in town with the Snowcastle.
Yeah.
I think the very first time, about 5 years ago, reached out to Lauren McGinnis, who was organizing that year.
That's right.
And then ever since then, there's always one or two opportunities, but they're starting to become more and more frequent. It's not that many still. I mean, we have a small niche comedic community here in town. But yeah, I just kind of, I don't know, everything was going over to online, and I was just going to try, making some shows.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's a great way to adapt. I mean, there were two places that used to do comedy nights in town, After 8 and Twist, and now they are both gone.
Yeah.
So with someone else taking up the mantle, that's an excellent thing to do. I mean, comedy nights and developing comedians here in town, not even just comedians, just performers, people that can get up and do something.
And in the absence of obviously Yuck Yucks not really being able to do their thing up here anymore,
I think we're fine.
Or nobody hosting that,
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, it's been a breath of fresh air for you to really step in and just be like, we're going to make this happen. We're going to keep making as much comedy happen in the north as we can.
And at one point, you and I were on the list to do a little bit of.
Well, we were on the Snow King,
the King's Comedy Night
lineup.
in March.
Right. Oh, right,
That's
right.
And we were debating very heartily as to whether or not we were even going to show up.
Oh, we were going to show up.
Were we?
Yeah.
I had some jokes written down in my phone that were not for family audiences.
No.
Were you guys going to do like a duo or
No, we were going to do like each a few minutes of solo stand up.
I think everyone assumed we were going to do.
I think so too. I think
Yeah.
doing one of these live would be fun to do.
Yeah.
Doing like a 20-minute version of this.
Well, we do
Yeah.
that every day.
That's right. Well, yeah, but we do it live for people to see, so they can actually listen, other than the two people listening right now.
Well, absolutely. Hey, everything you guys just said right now, I'm going to say absolutely to that.
Great.
The next time some event, I'm going to be putting together some amount. I'll reach out. I'll reach out to you guys if you'd like to be part of the show.
We would love to.
Yeah.
We'd love to.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've already got a following. You two
They
people.
may or
We have
may
two
not
people. There's a
follow
couple
us
people.
there.
Yeah.
One's his mom. One's my partner. So
Yeah.
as long as they show up,
That's
we have
right.
100% of our audience.
Yeah, our ratings were-
enraptured.
Yeah, my mom slept in yesterday. It was her birthday, so our ratings,
sent a song out to her, for
ratings
God's
were
sake.
way down.
Way down. They dropped by half. I mean, yeah, this is a fantastic idea. I mean, there's a few tickets left for this on Saturday. So, I mean, again, a chance to see a live show. And a chance for NACC. I mean, again, we were mentioning this earlier, just NACC getting real innovative with how they're doing these shows.
Absolutely, yeah. And this one is so. I also like to point out people who can't make it to the show.
Yes.
It's going to be broadcast that evening. I believe at 7:30 on Northwest Tel.
It is.
And if you do not have Northwest Tel, you will find it on the internet forever from that point on.
Martin, you know everyone has Northwest Hell. We have literally no choice. But you're right. Yeah, if you don't have the TV. That's right. Yeah. If you don't have the cable, you can watch it on Facebook. 7:30 the same day. I mean, we're very proud of Emily, even though she never tells us about this stuff. But Sky, what a great lineup. Tom Parker, Ryan McCord doing the music. So is he going to be playing songs, or is it like acting like a late show where he plays like the guests up and then...
No, yeah. So Tom is our special musical guest.
Yep.
And also he's got an album coming out, I believe December 21st, which is called From the Rail Yard to the Wood Yard.
Okay.
He's got an album coming out, and so we're going to push that a little bit. And but I do have a co-host who's going to play the guests on and stuff, and his name is JD.
Okay.
Also a local creative.
Now let's not to broach the awkward
Absolutely.
side of things,
but here we go.
But so your first ever late show in the summer, you had Baby Brian as your musical assistant.
You're right. Yeah.
You don't have him anymore.
No, he quit.
What happened?
No, yeah, he declined for a second.
Wow, just declined.
No, I'm sure it was a scheduling thing. I'm sure we had a great time with Brian.
At least that's what his people said.
That's what his people exactly. Yeah. The memo I received.
He's got a tough agent. That guy.
Yeah,
that's right.
He's a tough talent to crack.
Yeah. He wanted top billing. He wanted it to be Baby Brian's The Ever Late Show featuring Baby Brian.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, and he's got a new album out now.
That's right.
He's, he's a big star.
Yeah. That's right. He wasn't going to play the guest up. He's just going. I'm going to play a cut from a new album, and people were like, "Can you just?" All right.
Have you had him on the show?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Right. Okay.
He's been all over Cabin Radio.
Oh yeah. All over Cabin Radio. Had him back on the show in the old Moose days, which is a bygone radio era.
Clans and Moose had him on a couple weeks ago.
Absolutely. Yeah. He's a staple here.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So
well, that's probably the reason why he couldn't make it.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Well, we had an agreement with him. Like, listen, you can't appear on anything else.
Yeah.
You're Cabin Radio exclusive.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So until you have us as a sponsor of this, Martin, no more Baby Brian.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can see the hurt is still there. So I won't. Pry.
No. That void has been filled with our new co-host, with JD. He's going to do a great job.
The era of Baby Brian is over.
Yeah.
JD reigns.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Awesome. This sounds like so much fun, man. We're looking forward to seeing it. I'll try to grab one of those tickets. But if not,
watch
it on Facebook. 7:30,
Absolutely.
the same day.
Absolutely.
Tickets are $20. Go to nacnt.ca for ticket info. Martin, thanks so much for joining us this morning,
Thank
man.
you guys for having me.
And thank you for having so much energy. Sometimes our guests don't know what they're doing. And that's fine.
Yeah. I've been up all night anxiously waiting this. I'm going to go to sleep now.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Ooh, that started
play
too
me off.
early.
You're playing me off. Thank you.
I was going to play you off. I accidentally bumped the keyboard with my hands.
So that's how much fun we're having here.
I can't
put your pants back on.
Don't make us hit the music, Martin.
Oh, well, you said something about a brief encounter, so I took my pants off. Okay, that's enough.
All right.
Martin, thanks so much.
Thank you.
We'll mention the show details again before the end of the show. But it's at the NACC, Saturday, 1 o'clock. Get your tickets at nacnt.ca. The Ever Late Show, Christmas edition.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
Bracken Sibbs joined me as Lecter decided to just take the last break off after buying us some A&W. So this morning's show brought to you by A&W, but brought to you by the NACC. And the Ever Late Show Christmas edition coming up on Saturday at 1 o'clock. Tickets are at the nacnt.ca. Not the nacnt.ca. I should say nacnt.ca. Big thanks to Martin Rehak for joining us a little earlier on. Brack Sibbs, that is not the best song to play before talking to you because I know that neither of you get to go home for Christmas. I'm not laughing about it. I feel bad for you guys that you're not able to go.
There are far worse fates to befall a person in a global pandemic, so
we're going to be stuck up here with the Aurora Borealis and tons of snow that we have tons of opportunity to play in.
Brax?
I'm so sorry. I'm overcome with emotion.
That's okay. Okay, well, cool. I mean, you guys are being very optimistic about it. That's great. But I wanted to bring you on and ask, what would you like for Christmas? Tips?
Oh, my gosh. I don't even know.
It's got to be under $50.
That makes it harder. I was going to say a new camera.
A new camera?
Yeah, I would like a new camera.
That's a lot. Ollie, I hope Ollie's listening to this. He signs a paycheck, so.
I don't know. Do you know what you want, Meg?
If you're offering $50, I'll just take the $50. I just need
$50 and go out for dinner.
I just need money to buy new things that I need that are expensive.
Listen, if you're not happy with your form of compensation, Certainly,
I'm very
joking.
happy.
I'm joking.
I could.
I have a terrible.
Can you buy a left ski and I'll buy the right ski?
Are there any skis in town? I was
I
looking
don't
myself.
know.
Apparently, there's no skis in
I-
town, but there's
yeah.
like a ski share between a bunch of skiers. And I don't want to get involved with those people. I just want to buy some skis for a loved one so that she can be involved with those people. I don't want to be involved with these people. I don't want to be involved with people who actively go out there and like run a marathon for fun. You know what I mean?
They're
Yeah.
just then they're always like super nice and like
Yeah, you're
chipper,
right.
and you're
all
like
athletic people, all super athletic people are always super nice and super chipper.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, that's
I mean
that's
not a
pretty
hard and fast rule.
broad
but-
generalization there.
Well, I mean, come on.
One of them's gonna pull out a cowbell and start cheering for you.
They're full of endorphins.
That's
so-
right. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, they're full of endorphins and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been like, people have been like talking about, I guess a lot of people are going cross country skiing for the first time.
Absolutely.
And I'm genuinely confused by people's, and sorry, I'm adding Ollie right now, people's inability to stay vertical when
It's hard
cross country
because
skiing.
it's hard to do. I mean,
know.
But
I feel like it's something you've been doing since you were a kid.
Yes, but I'm like, it's just
Yes.
walking,
Yeah.
but with
She-
things on your feet.
We were in her office the other day, and she's like, "Can you stand up when you're on skis?" And I'm like, "I've been on skis once, and I had a very difficult time with
Yeah.
it." And she's like, "Well, it's just so easy." And I was like, "Megan, it's not for
It's
everybody."
not that
But I
easy.
just don't, okay.
Higher centers of gravity. I mean, it's like walking, except you've got 10-foot friggin' skis on your
And
feet.
so you just shuffle along at
Just
the very
shuffle along.
least. And
Shuffle,
it's-
shuffle.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you've been doing
That's
it since
my-
just after you learned to walk. So super easy for you.
Yes. Forced, thrown into the snow,
To the snow with skis on your feet.
skis on my feet.
Yeah,
yes.
fair enough. I mean, you seem like a pretty athletic person. What did you do when you were a kid? Cross country skiing, obviously. Part of the team,
Skiing.
biathlon.
But definitely not biathlon. Anything that involves aim, I can't do.
Okay,
Like,
fair
I
enough.
have no aim.
What else you got?
It was solo sport, so I ran. That
Yeah.
was my big thing.
You ran.
I was on a swim
Not a
team.
sport. That's how you get in
Arguably
shape
the best
for sports.
sport. No, that is arguably the best sport. That
Whoa,
is like,
whoa,
no,
whoa!
okay.
Running is arguably the best
That's
sport.
such a practical thing,
Uh huh.
though. You
It is a
don't-
practical thing. That doesn't make it the best sport.
But it's like the purest form of competition. Who can get from point A
I
to
honestly
B
don't think
fastest?
that's accurate.
That is 100%
the
accurate.
purest form of competition.
The pure-
What about
well,
a thumb war?
Okay, that's
Yeah.
that's man versus nature. Yeah, that's,
Man versus nature. I gotta admit, my thumb against nature's thumb. No, I get that. I can understand where you're coming from with that. I don't agree, but I mean, I understand.
yeah.
Yeah,
Anyways,
yeah. I mean, don't roll your eyes at me. I've run before. I have run. I used to run a lot when I played high school sports.
yeah. No, it was anything that was solo and didn't involve people like relying on me. That was my best, my strongest suit.
Okay, perfect. Sibs, you do any sports?
Yeah. Yeah, I played a lot of soccer actually.
There you
go. Ball hockey, surprisingly.
Okay.
Volleyball. I was a big volleyball person.
Okay, cool.
And I was really good at free throws for basketball. So I would make it
Nice.
on for basketball free throw
Yeah.
competitions. But basketball, I was actually just garbage at.
Okay.
Half the time, people would like pass it to me, but I'm so short that it would get intercepted, or I would like jump for it and it would still go over my head.
They'd pass it to you, and you just walk to the free throw line and be like, "I'm just
Yeah.
gonna take a shot from here," or just like launch yourself headlong into a person so they fouled you.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I was a coach on a biathlon team, but not for skiing. I was a coach for the marksmanship half.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So
I feel like you and I together.
Now-
Megan and I
Megan and I
could be
together
a
make
team.
the
She would do the
perfect-
skiing. I could lay down on the mat.
Well, the true meaning of biathlon is to have two athletes do it. So
exactly.
Yeah,
right.
exactly. You
Bye.
can do
athlete on.
and we're the athlons.
That's right. We're the athlon.
between the two of us,
Yeah.
we make one mediocre athlete. I think using both of our
Yeah.
skills.
You should see us in disco spin.
You should see us dying.
disco spin. What is disco spin?
It's at the Racket
Spin
Club.
class.
Oh
Yeah.
I do have a complaint about it though.
Well, don't
May.
air it now. We
No.
we now
This
have
is not specific to them.
Yeah.
Love the Racket Club.
okay.
Shout out.
I was gonna say I love the Racket Club.
If you're gonna call it disco spin, though,
Play disco.
Play disco.
Right.
I am a big fan of
Here they are
music.
playing John Mayer and
It's like, but
Nora
no, it's all
Jones.
like hardcore. Like it's just remixes
Oh, yeah.
of pop music that's
course.
already very remixy.
no. Okay.
And I'm like, that's great to work out, but if you're gonna call it disco spin,
So you feel like if it was disco, it'd be a lot more fun.
Oh, I would be having a gas. Yeah.
If you look at my Spotify Wrapped, like all of those remixes that everybody's playing
Yeah.
are like my top 5 songs.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm living for it.
No, I'm out to lunch on that one.
Out
but-
to lunch.
The girl
Yes.
on Saturday plays a lot of Pitbull.
She did.
Yeah, Pitbull,
Can't
Mr.
complain.
Worldwide.
Yeah.
Very nice. Take a Kodak with a Kodak. Very good. Well, thank you for joining us for this last break. I just wanted to get to know you guys a little bit better. I feel like we've hung out, but I don't know anything about you.
Not much to know.
You're
No.
Scott, right?
Yeah, I'm Scott.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the tall, skinny guy. So, not much to know. I feel like there's lots to know. Okay, well, good.
know, yeah.
Good. Well, I'm glad I made this effort. Perfect. Wonderful. All right, well, I'm going to end it now, so you guys go back to work.
Bye.
Bye. All right, that's going to do it for Running Stick Kevin for this morning. Thanks to Bracken Sips. Thanks to Martin Rehak. Don't forget to go to NACC if you want some tickets to the Ever Late Show Christmas edition coming up on Saturday at 1 o'clock. If you can't make the show, it'll be rebroadcast on Northwest Health TV and on Facebook at 7:30. Same night. It's going to be a lot of fun, and maybe we'll be involved in one of these things at some point. That's terrifying.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca and by following the Mornings at the Cabin Facebook page.